Welcome to Make It a Better Day. I'm Matthew, and with me is Laura. Today we're diving into an article that completely transformed how I think about everyday choices, guardians of nature, small acts, big impact for wildlife. And trust me, it's going to change how you see your daily routine too.
You've got that look in your eye, Matthew. The one that usually means you're about to blow my mind with something seemingly simple.
Well, picture this: yesterday morning, standing in line for coffee, I noticed this bird-friendly certified label. My first thought: just another marketing gimmick. But then I learned something fascinating about shade-grown coffee.
Shade grown? You mean they grow it in the shade?
Exactly. Instead of clearing forests to plant coffee in full sun, which is sadly the norm, these farmers grow coffee under existing forest canopies. And here's the mind-blowing part: a single shade-grown coffee farm can support over 150 species of birds and countless other wildlife species. These farms basically become mini wildlife sanctuaries.
So every morning when we grab coffee, we're either supporting wildlife habitats
Or contributing to their destruction. As Sir David Attenborough says, the future of wildlife and the habitat that they depend on is in our hands. Pretty profound thought for the morning coffee run, right?
Speaking of wildlife in unexpected places, I've got to tell you about this amazing thing that happened with my kid's science project. Remember when he got obsessed with that butterfly tracking app?
The one that turned your backyard into a research station? How could I forget?
So get this, we started with just the app, iNaturalist, thinking it would be a fun summer activity. Then we spotted this monarch butterfly laying eggs on some milkweed. But here's where it gets interesting: we didn't just watch them grow, we ended up documenting the entire life cycle and sharing our data with researchers studying migration patterns.
That's fascinating. You basically became citizen scientists. How did the neighbors react?
At first, they were just curious about why we were always in the garden with our phones out. But then something magical happened. One neighbor's kid joined us, then another, and before we knew it, we had this informal butterfly watch group. Now our local garden center stocks milkweed because so many people got inspired by our little sanctuary.
It's amazing how these small community actions can grow into something bigger. You know, this reminds me of my conversation with Dr. Kriti Karant about her work in India. She's doing something similar, just on a much larger scale.
From butterflies to tigers, that's quite a leap. What's the connection?
Well, it's all about community engagement. Dr. Karant explained how she noticed that traditional conservation efforts often failed because they focused on restrictions rather than relationships. In your neighborhood, people got excited about butterflies because they saw the direct impact of their actions. She's applying the same principle with tiger conservation.
So instead of just telling people, don't do this, don't do that.
Exactly. She works with communities to find ways that protecting wildlife can benefit everyone. Just like how your butterfly garden became this wonderful community gathering spot, she's helping villages create wildlife-friendly spaces that bring people together while protecting endangered species.
That makes so much sense. And speaking of creating wildlife-friendly spaces, can we talk about this smart lighting thing mentioned in the article? I always thought those systems were just for saving money.
I thought the same thing. But it turns out light pollution is one of the biggest hidden threats to wildlife. Did you know that artificial light at night can disrupt everything from owl hunting patterns to sea turtle hatchlings finding their way to the ocean? The article mentions that simply programming your outdoor lights to dim after certain hours can make a huge difference.
And with smart home technology being so accessible now, that's something people could set up today.
Absolutely. And for our listeners who might be feeling overwhelmed by all this, remember, it starts with just paying attention. Notice the birds at your local park, the insects in your garden, the wildlife that shares your space. As the article shows, awareness is often the first step to action.
Here's a challenge for everyone listening: find one thing in your daily routine that could be tweaked to help wildlife. Whether it's choosing shade-grown coffee, creating a small wildlife-friendly space in your yard, or adjusting your outdoor lighting.
Before we wrap up today, I want you to close your eyes for a moment, yes, only if you're not driving. And picture this: it's early morning, and you're sipping your shade-grown coffee. Outside your window, a butterfly dances through your garden, landing on the milkweed you planted. In the background, birds call from the trees that still stand because of choices like yours. This isn't just a nice image, it's the real impact of the small decisions we make every day.
And tomorrow morning, when you're making your coffee choice or setting your outdoor lights, remember, you're not just one person making one small choice. You're part of a growing community of people who believe in the power of small actions.
Thank you for joining us on Make It a Better Day. We're Matthew and Laura, reminding you that every day is an opportunity to make things just a little bit better, for ourselves, for others, and for all the incredible creatures we share this planet with.
Visit our website to read the article and more. Visit our Redbubble store. Until next time. And remember, even the smallest actions can create ripples of positive change in our world.